Hi everyone, my name is Janice Bang. I'm a physician and a PhD candidate at Mount Sinai, and I'm the president of INet NYC at the moment. And it is my pleasure to welcome you to our new series entitled Life After INet. And for those who don't know yet, INet is a student and postdoc-led non-profit organization that promotes networking and career development for international scientists based in New York. And we have been around for quite some times, and we had prolific and very competent board members who paved the way for this organization. And most of them moved on to other careers. And we wanted to kind of highlight how their time with INET helped shape their new career or life trajectory. So without further ado, let's welcome our very first guest, Gabby. Hi, Gabby.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for speaking with us and for giving us like a glimpse into what has been happening with you in your life after you left INET. So without could you for to start, could you tell us like a little bit who you are and what position you have been you had when you were involved with INET?
Okay, so I'm a PhD trained scientist. My area of expertise is genetics or molecular genetics. I completed my PhD in biomedical sciences from SUNY Albany, and then I continued my postdoc also at SUNY Albany, but in a different lab. While I was doing my postdoctoral training, in about 2023, I joined INET as institutional representative for SUNY Albany. And yeah, that's where my story with INET began, basically. And from there, I became an admin manager. And then after that, I became the president. So I spent almost 3 years with INET in different roles. And I kind of grew my network with INET, basically.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Super cool. So, how was your experience with us? How was your experience with INET? And what were some of the challenges you faced in the various roles that you kind of had? And maybe if you can you give some tips to potential individuals who are considering joining INET to be able to overcome these challenges?
So I specifically was interested in joining INET because I realized as I was looking through jobs, talking to people in industry, that social or soft skills are very important, even as a scientist, even if you want to be a bench scientist anywhere pretty much outside of your postdoctoral and PhD training. And I realized the importance of that. Unfortunately, because I was at a small institution and sometimes being sort of a bench scientist, constantly working in a lab, it's very hard to develop those soft skills because the only people you talk to are your peers, other postdocs, and you don't get to interact much with other people or organize events or anything like that. So I was looking for ways to basically build up my soft skills. And I saw a Twitter post from INET that they're looking for new board members. I was very interested because they have a very high, they had a large audience, and I had really cool ideas what kind of events I wanted to organize that would help me build my soft skills as well as I could contribute to INET and INET's mission.
Mm.
I just reached out and started as institutional representative for INET. Um, Challenges. It was difficult initially because I was immediately thrown into um, a lot of organizational work especially when I became the admin manager, because just around that time, it just so happened that all the other board members either graduated or left INET for different reasons, and it was just me, the admin manager, and the president for nearly a year. So it
Mhm.
was very challenging to keep INET going, but also organizing events, making sure to engage with our members. But we went through all the struggles, so survived, and we managed to actually get more people and invite more people to join INET board. And we started the next year with maybe 3 or 4 new board members, which was very exciting because we got to train everyone from scratch. Yeah, so that was probably the biggest challenge.
Yeah, so that was basically like HighNet was allowing you to develop your soft skills so that you can expand or explore beyond being like a bench researcher. And HighNet was very helpful for that. I think I joined also INet when you were when you were part of the board, and I could see how you guys were definitely making the organization run smoothly. And thank you for teaching us the ropes when we were newbies as well. So, um, what advice would you give to, in addition to try to polish soft skills, what advice would you give to someone considering applying for the same positions that you had on INET? And for example, if someone that is at the same organization that you are, what what things do they need to think about if they want to consider to become an institutional representative or an administrator or a president at INET?
I think the easiest way to start and get involved, even if you don't know what you want to do, is to be the institutional representative. This way you get trained on the very basics of how INET runs, what we do or what we did. Not no longer part of it, but you're just sort of a passenger. You're shadowing other people. You get to organize at least one event per year or co-organize, which is great. It makes it easier for you to sort of transition from not being part of INET to organizing something at INET. So that would be my recommendation if you're really not sure what you want to do. However, if you have very specific career plans, so I was always looking for people who are interested in, for example, scientific writing or science communication. They can immediately start in specific roles like being social media person or a blog writer, because that would really help you sort of build a portfolio for your potential, scientific writing or scientific communications job. So that would be a very strategic positions, but if you just want to be part of something bigger, institutional representative would be the best way to start.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for sharing that. So now that the very last question, because I'm very conscious of your time. So any parting words or advice do you want to add in addition to what you already share to potential graduate student or postdoc out there that might consider joining the INET board committee?
Yes, so we definitely just get familiar yourself with INET and what we do. Look at older social media posts, especially our YouTube videos, which are great just resources for any like, career-related topics. Just think about what kind of themes INET is encompassing whenever we organize an event. So we also, which is not very obvious from social media maybe, but we do a lot of social events. So that was one of my favorite parts is just meeting all the local scientists in New York City and just interacting with everyone. Just familiarize yourself what INET does, but also remember that there are many more board members that will help you out. So you're not on your own. You join and you work as part of the team. There are people that are more senior to you that will help you sort of guide you what you need to do, and they might actually be very helpful at suggesting what kind of roles you can take on to develop specific, skills that you're interested in. The connections, the networking opportunities with INET are incredible, and you'll make so many new connections, and it's going to be very beneficial for your future career that I strongly believe in.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Gabby.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here and for sharing your wisdom and all those advice that to potential graduate student or postdoc who wants to join INET. And feel free to drop by anytime. We miss you.
Oh, cool. Thank you so much.